honor and a privilege. I'm connecting the Valley at NBC Palm Springs.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
And this is me.
This is me.
And this is me.
This is me on a plane.
Now on NBC Palm Springs at 5, a Palm Springs development has residents speaking out tonight against a new high-rise hotel that's been approved by the city. We've got details ahead.
Also, Acrisure Arena has a magnificent 12-day lineup of events that's coming up. Stay with us to see what they have in store.
Now, this is NBC Palm Springs.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Sandusky.
And I'm Mark Mester. A new development is facing pushback tonight in Palm Springs. That's tonight's top story. The new complex has been approved by the city, but some residents are concerned that it will change the scenery around Midtown. Our Brett Rosen joins us live from Palm Springs with more on the area that was approved for this new development. Brett.
Mark, I'm here in Palm Springs in the parking lot where this new development will be built. And just for some reference, behind me is the Renaissance Hotel, which sits at 5 stories high. This new development, the hotel part of it will reach 7 stories and the residential part of it will reach 9. So really giving some indication of how big this building will be. And I spoke to residents that live near this new development and what this new complex will look like. And they're not too keen on this being built. Take a look. What do you like doing in Palm Springs?
What do I like to do in Palm Springs? I love to swim.
This is Stephen Dixon. He's been a resident of Palm Springs nearly a decade, who says what drew him to the city was the mid-century look.
That's what drew me here, was the vibe, the beautiful scenery and all that, and the just the basic vibe of the community. And I'm afraid that if we get into tall buildings and overpopulation, it's going to change that vibe.
The tall buildings Dixon is mentioning is the new city-approved hotel that will reach 7 stories, as well as a residential development that will reach 9 stories. This will total about 99.8 feet. This complex will sit on what right now is a parking lot between the Hilton and Renaissance Hotel in the Midtown area. When finished, this development would be one of the tallest buildings in Palm Springs. Dixon says it's not the project itself that scares him, but the idea that this is just the first of many.
I don't want to have anybody think that we're anti-development. We're just we're anti-indiscriminate development. The precedent, because there's a lot of land here that could be developed, and if we bend in the rule that Palm Springs has lived by for so many years now, of keeping buildings to 35 feet height, we are really opening ourselves up to a lot of unpleasant looks.
Even other residents voiced their concerns with the project during the Palm Springs Planning Commission meeting.
I'm not happy that the mountain view will be blocked. It's already happening by the parking garage from the casino, and it's the Kimpton Hotel, I think. And how about the current height restrictions? Why do you ignore that, basically?
Now, Mark and Olivia, the lady had mentioned during that planning commission meeting these height restrictions. So that really interested me. So I reached out to the city of Palm Springs, and they said in a statement in part, quote, the city's planning commission was guided by Section 14's unique zoning rules set by the tribe in partnership with the city, which allows buildings up to 100 feet tall on properties like this one. In response to community concerns, the planning commission required changes to the building to step back the height in certain locations and better integrate into the the neighborhood, end quote. So just a part of that, the new complex is set at 99.8 feet, just below that 100 feet mark. So I guess they're good there. Another thing that they mentioned in that statement was a architectural review that'll happen in the coming weeks. Live in Palm Springs, I'm Brett Rosen, NBC Palm Springs.
Brett, thank you. We have a local alert this evening. The search for a suspect continues after a deadly shooting in Coachella this weekend. Thermal Station Sheriff's deputies receiving a report of an assault with a weapon after just before noon on Sunday. This is at the intersection of Calle Limon and Genoa Street. Deputies arrived on scene. They found an adult male suffering from a possible gunshot wound. The victim has been identified as 51-year-old Enrique Arrieta of Coachella. No arrests have been made at this time. Investigators working to identify a suspect. If anyone has any information, they're encouraged to contact Investigator Adams. We've got the number there at the bottom of your screen. You can also find it on our website.
The Riverside County Board of Supervisors has voted unanimously, allowing the Riverside County Sheriff's Department to move forward with revising fees for a wide range of services. It includes background checks, subpoena deliveries, coroner's operations, and even fortune-telling licenses. County officials say the new proposal could move costs up or down depending on the service. The fees to be examined include concealed firearm permits, background checks for schools and county jobs, secondhand dealer licenses, and private party autopsies. The sheriff's office is expected to return with a draft ordinance within the next few months. The Board of Supervisors will also have to hold 2 hearings before any changes take effect.
Let's bring you outside for a live look from our Agua Caliente Casino camera in Rancho Mirage. It was a cloudy morning and a very cloudy Sunday, even some sprinkles across the Coachella Valley, but looks like things have cleared up at this hour. We have meteorologist Jerry Steffens' 3-day forecast for you tonight.
Goodbye summer, hello fall. Yeah, autumn arrived officially at 11:19 this morning. It felt like it yesterday with the clouds and cooler than normal numbers, and somewhat today with mostly cloudy skies. But we had some tropical moisture moving its way over the southwest. No measurable rain for the Coachella Valley, but 78 degrees will be the overnight low under mostly cloudy skies tonight in Palm Springs, 76 at Indio. Dew points, like today, will hover in the 50s, and peak temps should surpass 100 degrees this afternoon, putting us close to normal. 102, that'll be the high tomorrow in Palm Springs. 103 at Indio, 104 at La Quinta and Cathedral City. Comfort Air 3-day forecast, 101 Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny Thursday, slightly drier air, and temps slightly below normal in the upper 90s. What about the rest of the week and this coming weekend? We'll check it out. Full forecast in 7 day, minutes away.
Acrisure Arena has a big announcement to make about its lineup of amazing performances and events coming to the Valley starting next week. From Paul McCartney next Monday all the way to the Firebirds kickoff on October 10th. Have a look at the Magnificent 7. These are the exciting events set to run at Acrisure Arena over the upcoming 12-day stretch. The headliners include, that's Paul McCartney, September 29th, The Who on October 1st, Los Angeles Lakers on October 3rd, Blink-182 on October 4th and 5th, Maroon 5 on October 8th, and the Coachella Valley Firebirds home opener on October 11th. Make sure to head on over to Acrisure Arena's website to secure your tickets.
And in more local news this evening, Tenet Health is releasing new details about the Desert Regional Nurses strike that was scheduled for next week. Desert Care Network releasing a statement saying the California Nurses Association, which is associated with Desert Regional Medical Center as well as 5 other regional hospitals, issued union strike notices set for September 30th. The network claims nurses have violated the network's no-strike clause, deeming it, quote, inappropriate and disruptive. Following the strike notices, the network alerted the Nurses Association of all immediate consequences, to which the union withdrew all notices shortly after shutting down the strike.
The Palm Springs Police Department is hosting a blood drive tomorrow. That's September 23rd. It'll be located at the police department's training center on South Civic Drive in Palm Springs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Donors earn store points that can be redeemed for virtual prepaid MasterCards and Livestream gear. You can find more information by visiting our website. That's NBCPalmSprings.com.
Today, Sunline Transit Agency is joining the global celebration of World Car Free Day, and they're making it a little easier for you to leave your home without your car. They have free rides. They're happening all day long. All of Sunline's local fixed route buses are completely fare free today. The rides are at no cost. Maybe if you're heading to dinner this evening or heading back from work, Sunline is encouraging everyone to give public transit a try. They say it's convenient, eco-friendly, and now buses offer free onboard Wi-Fi.
We are very excited to be able to offer free rides on our fixed route service, which is 1 through 9. And this is really a way to reduce emissions and then hopefully reduce a little bit of congestion out on the road, since we know our valley is getting pretty big. And also because it's completely free. So if anybody wants to try our public transportation, we truly encourage them to try it at least today.
Again, this offer is valid today only, so a few more hours to take advantage. It excludes Commuter Link 10, Sunride, and Sundial services.
Coming up next tonight, President Trump and Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced their autism findings without assistance from medical professionals.
Plus, NASA introducing their newest class of astronauts who are gearing up for training. We'll introduce you to them after the break.
As autism.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to listen and bring you the stories that truly impact our lives here in the Valley so that your voice is heard.
You're watching our digital live stream. For the latest news and updates on developing stories, head over to our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Don't miss our digital exclusive content. Me on a Plate, Talking with Thalia, Kai the Deal Guy, and Desert Entertainment with Todd. Only on NBCPalmSprings.com.
News isn't all we do. We have a wide variety of original programming for you to enjoy over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Successful wildlife projects are happening all across the Salton Sea.
And in the middle of these restoration efforts, lithium enters the equation. Dive into the delicate balance of nature and the emerging Lithium Valley, streaming on NBCPalmSprings.com.
Worried about missing a broadcast? Don't worry. We stream just about everywhere from Instagram to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and of course our website, NBC. Committed to covering our community. You're watching NBC Palm Springs at 5.
President Donald Trump made an announcement this afternoon alongside Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. about his administration's latest findings on autism. Their comments focused on the use of acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, and other widely used medications by pregnant women.
Thank you very much.
President Trump today making a major announcement related to autism.
We announced historic steps to confront the crisis of autism.
The president touting research from his administration and telling reporters he believes the use of the painkiller acetaminophen during pregnancy increases risk of autism.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good. For this reason, they are strongly recommending that women limit Tylenol use during pregnancy unless medically necessary.
Acetaminophen is the active ingredient in Tylenol. The company that makes Tylenol telling NBC News, "We believe independent sound science clearly shows that taking acetaminophen does not cause autism," adding that without the drug, pregnant women will either, quote, suffer through conditions like fever that are potentially harmful to both mom and baby, or use riskier alternatives. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services, has mentioned multiple theories about the cause of autism. He has alarmed experts by linking the disorder to vaccines. Medical organizations are endorsing the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy, and researchers have found it to be the safest option.
Study after study has actually shown that there's no causal link with Tylenol and pregnancy and autism.
The White House press secretary asked if today's new information could confuse mothers-to-be.
I think women for many years, in fact for decades, Ed, have been confused by the rapid increase in autism in this country.
Earlier this month, RFK Jr. appeared on Capitol Hill where he was grilled by senators about his vaccine policy and other health-related issues. RFK Jr. has been invited to come back and testify once again, but he has yet to confirm whether he will appear. Melanie Znona, NBC News, Washington.
And the Supreme Court is allowing President Trump to fire FTC member Rebecca Slaughter after a 6-3 decision. Slaughter's ousting will take effect while the justices decide if they should overturn a decades-old court precedent. It protects federal agency members from being fired by the president without sufficient cause. The Supreme Court granted the president's request to temporarily block the rulings from judges who had ordered her reinstatement. And they'll hear oral arguments in December when they make their final decision.
The White House is clarifying its change to the H-1B visas after workers, companies, and foreign governments scrambled to respond to the latest immigration restrictions. Friday's surprise order from the Trump administration announced a new $100,000 fee on some visas. The White House later clarified that existing holders of the H-1B visas for skilled workers are not affected. And the fee is a one-time charge limited to new petitions. The proclamation is a win for immigration hardliners on Capitol Hill, but it's likely to rankle tech executives seeking qualified workers from abroad.
So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land. Train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here.
Amazon, Meta, Google, Apple, and Walmart are among the biggest users of visas under this program, which President George H.W. Bush signed into law back in 1990. The fee had ranged from $2,000 to $5,000 per application, accounting for 71% of approved beneficiaries, while China was a distant second at 11.7%, according to government data.
NASA is welcoming the Americans who will make up the 2025 astronaut candidate class at a Johnson Space Center event in Houston, Texas today. The 10 candidates made it through a competitive selection process that saw more than 8,000 applicants. Candidates will now take part in a 2-year training program before becoming eligible for flight assignments. This announcement comes as NASA continues to plan for the Artemis II mission that will send astronauts to orbit the moon. That's followed by a planned moon landing with the Artemis III mission. The ultimate goal? To land astronauts on Mars in the years to come. With the addition of these 10 individuals, NASA now has recruited 370 astronaut candidates since selecting the original Mercury 7 in 1959.
Giving you a live look tonight from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Got a look at the early week forecast. That's right after this break when meteorologist Jerry Steffen show us a 7-day forecast. We'll be right back.
Missed the news yesterday? Well, don't worry. You can watch the latest stories and even original news programming over on our website, NBCPalmSprings.com.
Every morning at 6 a.m., Jerry and I are here to help you start your day informed and connected. And after our newscast, I head out into our community to
Welcome back. We hope you're having a great Monday and a great first day of fall. A live look from our Walter Clark Highway 111 camera out there with some cooler conditions to kick off the season. We'll check in with meteorologist Jerry Steffen for our 7-day forecast.
Let's start with a look at yesterday's and this morning's radar. You can see a lot of action, a lot of echoes being recorded moving over the area, but we had a lot of virga, so a lot of it did not reach the ground. We picked up a little over 1/10 of an inch yesterday at around 5 p.m. at the Palm Springs Airport. That was about it. 92 degrees the high yesterday under mostly cloudy skies. It did feel autumn-like because autumn has officially arrived. Great timing there. Monsoonal moisture pulling up a lot of moisture over the southwest earlier today through tonight. 78 degrees under mostly cloudy skies this evening in Palm Springs. 76 at Indio, 72, 29 Palms, 68 tonight at Joshua Tree. Tomorrow, we won't see as much moisture to work with, but there is a slight chance of a sprinkle in the southern part of the states and around L.A. 101 to 105 puts us above normal by a couple degrees, and we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Any rain for Southern California, non-existent. Tomorrow, you got to look to the north and west of us for any measurable rain. As far as surface moisture, it stays up there. 50-degree dew points tomorrow, closer to 60 Wednesday, and then slightly drying out by Thursday. As far as winds, non-existent tonight. Tuesday, a little breezy, stronger winds Wednesday and Thursday, but only in the wind-prone areas. Temps tomorrow, 102 in Palm Springs under a mix of sun and clouds, 104 Palm Desert, and about the same range of temps, just above 100 degrees Wednesday afternoon for the Coachella Valley. And as far as rainfall heading into the weekend, late Saturday into early Sunday, we could see some very light rainfall. Nothing expected for the valley except for maybe a couple sprinkles. Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 102 today under a mix of sun and clouds, mostly sunny Wednesday, 101. Drier Thursday with mostly sunny skies, staying in the 90s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, closer to 100 Monday of next week.
NBC Palm Springs Sports with Tim O'Brien, powered by Agua Caliente Casino.
All this time next week, well, Acrisure Arena, we'll be there. The first Firebirds practice of the season. The team will land in the Valley next week with Season 4 just within reach. Opening night, of course, October 10th. It's an important week in Seattle for a few bubble players, and whether or not they'll stay in Seattle or come down to the American Hockey League. Several Firebirds who will likely be here at the start of the season certainly had a good first preseason game in Seattle, like that man Yanni Newman, Edward Chalet with a goal as well, Nikkei Coco making 13 saves on 14 shots. Well, speaking of the Firebirds, you can watch the latest episode of Firebirds Off the Ice on our website at NBCPalmSprings.com. This week we visited with the senior graphics design manager and his thought process on creating a jersey. We met with the manager of merchandise and operator of the team store, along with exactly what goes into creating the best fan experience the minute the doors open. Now, the season preview show will air on October 6th right here on NBC Palm Springs. And we're already 5 weeks through on the high school football season. The Desert Empire League will have their bye week on Friday. That's, of course, to get healthy and prepare for league play on October 3rd. Now, the schedule will continue this week with the Desert Valley and Sun Valley League matchups. But you can watch the latest episode of Friday Night Lights right there on our site. You go to sports, click on the tab, and scroll down to Friday Night Lights, all on our website at NBCPalmSprings.com. I'll take a quick look at Friday night's schedule. Valley View at Coachella Valley. La Quinta, the only DEL team playing at Central. Indio at West Valley. San Gorgonio at Cathedral City. Desert Hot Springs at Yucca Valley. And Desert Mirage at 29 Palms. The reason La Quinta playing, they take week 0 off. So they'll be the lone DEL team before that matchup all start on October 3rd. And I'll leave you with this. It's a good feel-good story. Palm Desert's Johnny Brand was playing Madden today at UCLA Pediatric Hospital. Then LA Chargers offensive lineman Joe Alt walks in the room while he's playing as the Chargers. That's pretty cool when you get an NFL player to pay you a visit in your room. Brand, of course, battling Ewing's sarcoma, getting that treatment at UCLA. So that's certainly what it's all about, giving back, and a moment that Johnny and his family will never forget. Well, that'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
All right, Tim, thanks for that. Jimmy Kimmel's show is coming back. ABC announced Jimmy Kimmel Live will return to air tomorrow night. The show was abruptly and indefinitely taken off the air last Wednesday. ABC pulled the show after criticism over Kimmel's monologue about the MAGA movement's response to Charlie Kirk's assassination. Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr and networks of affiliate stations had threatened ABC over the remarks. On Monday, a spokesperson for Disney, which owns ABC, said they suspended the show to cool tension over the comments. They said they felt some of Kimmel's comments were poorly timed and thus insensitive. But after conversations with Kimmel, they reached the decision to bring the show back on Tuesday. We'll be right back.
All right, that's it for us. I can't believe it. First day of fall and Firebird season just around the corner.
Yeah, team gets back a week from today, so it's pretty nuts.
Love it.
Coming up. All right, Nightly News is next. We're back here at 6 with the latest local headlines.